Haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it right now. Okay, so what is a PR card? Of course, it means the permanent resident card. It is the identification and a travel document for permanent residents of Canada. It's the most important document. One of the methods by which Canadian permanent residents can prove their status, and also it is one of the only documents that allow permanent residents to return to Canada by a commercial carrier. Let's suppose you are a permanent resident of Canada for quite a while, you've got a PR card. If you go out of the country, you have to carry that permanent resident card. Only then you'll be able to enter Canada. So this means that PR card holds equal importance like your passport. So it is such an important document, and it has got personal details like your date of birth, your nationality, and it has got an expiration date as well. It is generally 5 years from the date you get it, so something around 5 years. So when it is about to expire, you can apply for the PR card again. Okay, so how to get it? For the people who have just received the permanent residency, so first of all, you will receive your COPR. As soon as you receive a COPR, you'll go to the VFS office and get your passport stamped. So you decide a date when you land in Canada. Finally, you land in Canada. After that, you go to the immigration officer. Now, over there, the immigration officer will ask you a number of questions, mostly general questions, but there would be a question for sure over there. He'll ask about your Canadian address. Now, this question is so important because whichever address you will give, your PR card would be delivered at that address only. Not only because you can actually change that address later on. How can you change it? I'll tell you. So most of the people who would be, landing there would certainly have one address. You might be going straight away to a friend's place. You might be going to a hotel or a temporary accommodation somewhere. You must be going, right? So you should give that address over there. Even if you don't give an address, that is totally fine. You can say that we are very new over here and we don't have an address. So in that case, they'll give you a form that you have to actually send them through fax. Okay, now the processing times. It is actually delivered through Canada Post, and generally the processing time is 1.5 months, which is 45 days, and this is the time that IRCC has actually declared. But for a minimum it might take 1 month, and for a maximum it might take around 3 months for you to get the PR card delivered the address. IRCC sometimes ask for the photographs once again, so if in case you get a communication over your mail, so you should keep checking your mail. You should be quite cautious on that point. If you get a communication that you need to update your photograph once again, in that case you should get one more photograph clicked in the exact specifications and send it back to them. Of course, there'll be a delay of around 15-20 days in that case, but no need to worry, there'll just be a delay. It is something which happens with many people, so no need to worry about that. Okay, now the change of address, how to get it updated. So it is actually very common that somebody landing over there would have a temporary address and you would want your PR card to be delivered in a different address. So it's very common. So there are two ways of doing it. The first way is IRCC web form. I'll provide the link down there. I'll also show you how you can go and update it. The second way of doing it is calling the IRCC call center. They're available from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, here, if you call, you would find they're extremely busy. They're extremely busy. If you actually call them, you may find that you're there in the queue for maybe an hour or so. But generally, if you call them, sharp at 8 a.m. or somewhere around 3:30 p.m., there would be a queue of around 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. So please be ready. Please be very patient that if you call them for the change of address, please be patient. There would certainly be a long queue. So please be patient about that and be a bit cautious. Okay, now let's assume that you're moving to a new address. Of course, if you have landed in Canada, you would have a temporary residence. You might be going in a hotel, you might be going to a friend's place or a hostel, anywhere. Now, after that, let's say you found a temporary accommodation, but let's say you don't even like it. You decided to move on to the another accommodation. Maybe when you find a job, you try to move to a location which is closer to your office. So in that way, which address should you give? So of course you should make sure that you update your address as soon as you actually move. How you can update it, I've just told you. What's important also is that, if you don't want to, keep changing the address and getting it updated, what you can do is give your friend's address, or anybody who you know there in Canada. You can give their address. If you know that they are gonna stay there for next 3 months, please give their address. And I don't think it's a big favor to ask. The PR card would be delivered to their address, and as soon as it is delivered, you can take it from them. So it is quite simple. If in case you feel like there's nobody, no trustworthy guy in Canada, there might be some people like that. So in that case, there's another option available. So there's a company named as UPS, and they offer something like UPS mailbox rental. So what is it? You'd actually get a mailbox for a rental period, let's say 1 month or 3 month. You can actually get it for a rental period, and you can actually update that address. Now the good thing is that they would actually give you a rental address, which is something like a physical address, and RSCC does not deliver the PR card to a PO box address. So please be very cautious about it. If you want to give a mailbox address, do not give a PO box address. Give the UPS mailbox rental address. How you can check it, I'll just show you right now. Okay, so this is the web form that I was talking about. This is the official website of Government of Canada, and what you have to do is click over this button over here, tell us more. So of course, by doing this, because it's written over there that if you have to update your application, then in that case you should fill up this web form. So have you submitted an application for permanent residence? So select yes. Is your application being processed by an office outside Canada? So because now your PR card is being processed inside Canada, so you should choose no over here and go to web form. So it will open a web form over here. It's clearly written over here that you may use this form if you have submitted an application or profile, if your application has exceeded normal processing times, if you wish to report important changes such as change in contact information. So this is your point over here, because you are submitting a form over here because your address has changed and you want your PR card to be delivered in the new address. So over here you have to choose type of application. Just choose over here permanent resident card. Type of application, permanent resident card, initial card. And over here you can obviously mention your new address. If it's clearly written over here that if you're submitting an address change, include your new address, street name, street number, city, province, postal code, and country. If you're submitting a change in email address, include and specify old email address and new email address. So through this form, you can actually go ahead and submit your new address. Just this is an application form, an online application form for changing your address where you can get your PR card. Okay, so this was one thing. The other thing is about the call center. So this is the number over here. I'll provide this link in the description box as well. So this is the number. It's written over here that they're available from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. But most of the times you'll find a long queue over there. So please be patient. Okay, the third thing, the UPS store. So this is the website, upsstore.com/mailboxes. So what do they have to offer? Let's just check it out. So they offer a mailbox on rent for some time. So they have got different packages, and they're in different locations. So you have to find a local store which is close to your home so that you can have easy access to it. Just go to this link over here, and it will give you more detailed information about their services. So basically UPS has different stores. It would have a store near your home, hopefully. So what do they have to offer is a street address, not a PO box number. So as I told you that if you give a PO box number, then that won't be accepted by RSCC, because they don't deliver the PR cards to PO box number. So you would be given a street address for this mailbox, which is what you want. So it would have a 24-hour access, and you would be given a text or email notification as well, through which you can actually get to know if you have, when you receive the card or any other document, then definitely you can go and check it out. So this was what I wanted to tell you. Hopefully this information would also help you. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I really hope that the